Empire Total War Road to Independence.
As time went by, hostilities between the natives and settlers began to fade, and more ships carrying the hopeful arrived daily. Over the next 100 years, the population swelled, and the fight for territory began. Both the British and the French set their sights on the valuable Ohio Valley. And when the French built a line of forts across the valley, I was sent to demand the instant withdrawal of their troops. They refused, and the British retaliated by sending an army under General Braddock to take the valley by force. I was unlucky enough to be an officer in that army. Braddock's limited knowledge of his surroundings and his refusal to listen to counsel led to his downfall. He marched us straight into a French ambush. Our men were massacred. The cries of the wounded still haunt my dreams. This terrible loss encouraged the British to take a closer look at the tactics and cunning employed by their native allies. Use of these warriors and their knowledge of the land would prove to be the key to claiming the Ohio Valley.
The French have established a series of forts in the Ohio Valley. These forts are well defended and will be difficult to take through military force alone. Perhaps the Iroquois tribe to the north will provide you with some much-needed assistance.
In this video, we will take the French fort of Fort Niagara in the Ohio Valley.
This panel enables you to view the state of diplomatic relations between nations. Select a nation by clicking on their flag. Their allies, enemies, protectorates, and trading partners are displayed at the bottom of the panel. Use the arrow buttons to toggle the map between display of the selected nation's opinion of their rivals and what those nations think of them. To enter into diplomacy, select a nation from the table on the left and press the Open Negotiations button. Their attitude towards you is displayed next to their flag. Now this panel is used for negotiations between nations. Available diplomatic options are listed on the left. Click on an option to create a proposal and press the X button to cancel it. A complicated proposal involving too many elements may be rejected out of hand. This option is used to broker trade agreements. Once agreed, a trade route is opened between your nation and its partners, enabling goods to be traded to mutual advantage and profit. This option is used to broker military alliances. This allows you to call on your ally to provide assistance when at war, and likewise. Note that a refusal to provide support when an ally is under attack will instantly cancel the alliance between you. Military access is a symbol of trust between two nations and can be granted for a limited or indefinite time using the checkboxes provided. Requests for access between allied nations are more likely to be approved. Now that you have negotiated an alliance with the Iroquois, you will be able to recruit native warriors to bolster your armies.
Secured an alliance.
Units can now be recruited directly by a general in the field. Select the Recruitment tab, then left-click on a unit to add it to the queue, and again to remove it. When ready, units will walk to the appropriate general and merge with his army. Note that units can only walk directly to the general. They are not able to cross the sea to join him. Units that have suffered losses in battle or whose equipment has been superseded can have their numbers replenished to bring them back up to full strength. To replenish, select a unit and click on the Replenish button on the left of the panel.
Forward! March!
Funds are deducted from your treasury at the beginning of each turn to pay for the supplies and wages of your troops in the field. This is known as unit upkeep.
Forward! March!
Nearly went bankrupt.
When viewing user interface panels, you will notice a question mark button in their top left-hand corners. This is the Help button. Click on it in order to get advice about the panel in question.
Men ready! March!
When defending your territory,
Any
it's
further
important
orders?
to know how far enemy armies are able to move. Click on an enemy army to see its zone of movement. When an army is blocking your path, the terrain will be highlighted at the choke point. You must fight it to pass through, or find an alternative route.
Men, forward! Make ready for battle! Yes, my lord.
Got intercepted by the French.
The special abilities buttons are found in the bottom right corner of the screen. These turn on any special formations or abilities a selected unit has available to it. The button is disabled for those units without specialist skills. Most light units begin with skirmish mode turned on. This means that units with white banners are routing. They've broken and are running and won't follow any more of your orders. If positioned close by, your general may be able to rally these troops with his special ability. If successful, you'll regain control of them. If your line infantry are about to be charged by cavalry, make sure they are stationary, and preferably in a square. That way they can brace themselves against the impact and will take fewer losses. Clicking on the melee button in the bottom right of the screen will lock the selected melee-capable units into melee mode. All attack orders will result in a hand-to-hand attack until you click on the melee button again. The flashing unit banner means the morale of your troops is wavering. Before long, they will break from combat and rout from the field. Send your general to rally his men or bolster their ranks with reinforcements. The battle's over when all troops in an army are routed or killed. fighting and doing other strenuous activities tires your troops, reducing their effectiveness and morale. Have them stand still for a while. Rest. Resting is only really worthwhile, though, if they're very tired and exhausted.
Final unit.
When targeting men with artillery, pick out the enemy's best units. They die just as easily as the rabble.
Close victory.
Ready for orders.
As a unit fights and survives battles, It gains experience points that improve its ability to deal with future combat situations. Experience increases morale, so an experienced unit is less likely to break and run from battle when under stress and fatigue. In order to gain control of a garrison and when attacking a fort or city, a general can demand that the defenders surrender with the honors of war. If accepted, they will be allowed to leave unmolested, turning the fortifications over without a shot being fired. Occupying a port with an army prevents the enemy from trading through it and producing new ships. Note that a port cannot be besieged. Simply right-click on the target port and your army will walk straight in. If an enemy army is garrisoned there, you will have to fight them immediately. It is possible to take a fort or city without risking a pitched battle. A patient general can throttle the fight out of the defenders by laying siege for several turns. This is time-consuming, but eventually hunger or an angry populace will force a surrender.
Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.
You have successfully captured Fort Niagara. The Ohio Valley is now firmly under British control. However, the war against the French has now escalated across the entire 13 colonies, and it's not going well for the British. You must do what you can to help them overcome the French.